Sinai Desert. With fine sand, bare rocks, and high plateaus, the Sinai Desert is a spectacular place. Desert conditions are harsh, however, with high daytime temperatures dropping to below freezing at night. Despite this, it has been home to Bedouin tribes for thousands of years. Moses is called by God. Moses grew up in Pharaoh's palace and was treated as if he was the son of the princess. But he was a thoughtful young man who never forgot that his birth parents belonged to the Levite tribe of Israel. One day, he went out and saw the Israelite slave gangs dragging huge slabs of stone out of the quarry. From morning until night, they worked in the scorching sun. Suddenly, one of the slaves collapsed on the ground. The Egyptian slave driver went over and kicked him. When the poor man still did not get up, the slave driver gave him a savage beating. Moses, unable to bear it, rushed over and, glancing around to make sure no one saw, killed the cruel slave driver. Then, filled with horror at what he had done, he dug a large hole in the sand and buried the body. Yahweh, God's name, I Am, is spelled with the 4 Hebrew letters YHWH and is known as the Tetragrammaton. Yahweh is usually written out as Yahweh and is taken from the Hebrew verb to be. It translates as the one who is always there, which reflects the Lord's eternal presence. The next morning, Moses went back and saw 2 Israelites arguing. One of them grabbed the other by the throat. Moses went up and separated them, asking them why they were fighting. "Who are you to judge us?" one replied. "Are you going to kill me just as you murdered that Egyptian yesterday?" Moses was filled with terror. Word would soon spread and everybody would know about his crime. And when the news reached Pharaoh, Moses knew that his own life would be in danger. He gathered a few belongings and left Egypt, fleeing across the Sinai desert until he reached the land of Midian. He settled there, far from danger. One day, Moses was sitting by a well when 7 young women came to draw water for their flocks. The local shepherds tried to stop them, but Moses came to their rescue and helped them get water. They were grateful and took him to meet their father, who was a priest named Jethro. He welcomed Moses and asked him to stay. In time, Jethro gave his daughter Zipporah to Moses in marriage. Moses helped his father-in-law to look after the sheep. One day, he took the flocks across the desert to graze by the sacred mountain of Sinai. He sat down to rest and started to sleep. Suddenly, he sat bolt upright and saw a blazing bush in front of him. Although the flames crackled through the branches, they did not even singe them. Moses crept nearer, and then he heard the Lord's voice coming from the middle of the burning bush. "I am the God of your father, the God of Abraham, the God of Isaac, and the God of Jacob. I have seen the misery of my people in Egypt, and I am concerned about their suffering. So I have come down to rescue them from the hands of the Egyptians and bring them to a land of their own, flowing with milk and honey. I am sending you to Pharaoh to bring my people, the Israelites, out of Egypt." Moses was amazed and filled with terror. "But how can I do that?" he asked. "Who am I that I should go to Pharaoh and bring the Israelites out of Egypt?" "I will be with you," God reassured him. "Say that the God of their fathers has sent you and that his name is I Am." And God said Moses must tell Pharaoh that Egypt would be cursed and plagues would sweep the land if he did not let the Israelites go. "But what if he doesn't believe me?" protested Moses. God told Moses to throw his staff on the ground, which he did at once. Immediately, it turned into a snake, writhing and hissing in the dust. "Pick it up by the tail now," said God. Moses lifted it up at arm's length, and the serpent turned back into a wooden staff. "Now go," God told him. "Take your brother Aaron with you. He is coming to meet you. I will tell you both what to say. And take your wooden staff. It will help you to perform miraculous feats. I am sending you to Pharaoh to bring my people, the Israelites, out of Egypt." Understanding the story. Though Moses lives the life of Egyptian royalty, he never forgets his own people, demonstrated by him killing the Egyptian slave driver for mistreating the Israelites. God's presence is sometimes symbolized by fire to show his power, and here he appears to Moses inside a burning bush. By telling Moses to lead the Israelites to the promised land, God shows that he has not forgotten his chosen people either.